Hey everybody, this is Beetle casting for the StarCraft 2 Rebirth Tournament Series, and this is the third game between Thanatos and Pitrof. This was a cast from the third week of Gold Tournament for the StarCraft 2 Rebirth Tournament Series. If you guys don't know, it's a weekly tournament series, and they have divisions for Bronze, Silver, Gold, etc. up to Masters. And this was played between Pitrof and Thanatos in the third week of the Gold Tournament Series. This is a semifinals best of 3. And this is the third match between these two players. Previously, Thanatos won on Metalopolis, and then Pitrof won on Xel'Naga. If you guys don't know, the loser picks the next map. So Pitrof did decide last map was going to use Xel'Naga Caverns, and Thanatos obviously decided that this time they were playing on Shadow Temple, and I think Shadow Temple is a pretty good map. If I had to say any defining characteristics about it, I think it does favor fast expansions a little bit, as it does have one choke. It's kind of a big choke. It's not like a small ramp, but it is one choke. You can defend it if you really try, and if you have a dedicated fast expansion build order, it can be pulled off on this map. But wow, I wonder what that was about. Pitrof's probe attacking this pylon, not doing any damage, as those shields are just going to recharge. And if we check the production tab, that's not a production tab. Okay, so your production and supply up. We see Thanatos is a probe, was a probe over Pitrof after killing off his probe, so that'll put him just a little bit over in terms of economy, not a lot really. Both of them getting gateways up. Pitrof getting his gateway up a little bit quicker than Thanatos did. And we saw this last game too, that Pitrof's buildings were always like 10-15 seconds faster than Thanatos' buildings. I don't really know why that is. I guess it's just the build orders or playstyles of these two players. But both of them getting assimilators down. Thanatos' assimilator is a little later than Pitrof's. His gateway going down about 10 seconds, whereas Pitrof already has his gateway down. Pitrof also getting a 7x core down before Thanatos. Look for Thanatos to get that 7x core down pretty soon, and Pitrof getting a zealot out of his base. Thanatos getting his zealot out too, so they're both getting their zealots out at about the same time. And when we check the income tab, Thanatos is just a little over Pitrof. Really, it's probably just that probe that he killed early on. But hey, I mean, even that could be helpful in a game that is close. You know, in a really close game, just one probe difference can make a difference. And Pitrof actually canceling an assimilator there. Weird. Maybe he just decided in his head to go for a quick tech switch, or not quick tech switch. Maybe he switched which tech he was going inside of his head, so he canceled that. But we'll see what he's going to do. He's gathering up a little bit of minerals. Maybe he's going to throw down another gateway. Maybe he'll go for a Nexus. I think that would be really interesting. A one-gate fast expansion. We haven't seen that so far from either of these players. So what's he getting? I think he's just going to get another gateway down. He's probably waiting to take care of this probe first before he just throws anything down, before he reveals his build order. He does have enough minerals down for a Nexus though, but he is going to get a gateway once he was sure he could kill off that probe. But he's getting 3 gateways. Wow. So Pitrof getting a 4-gate, and good player that he is, he was waiting until Thanatos didn't see what was going on anymore before he threw down that 4-gate. Thanatos at this point only has a 2-gate, not throwing down a 4-gate, not throwing down really anything at this point. And he is getting a Sentry and a Stalker out, which will give him a little bit of a defensive force. And Pitrof is doing some early pressure. I think he's probably just scouting really and doing a little bit of early pressure to see what Thanatos is doing, what Thanatos' build is. Does he have a lot of units out early on? Is he going for a straight economic build? Seeing if he's getting a fast expansion. If he was getting a fast expansion, that's definitely something Pitrof needs to know at this point in the game. But he just sees 2 gateways and a few units out, not a lot of units, so he probably thinks he's secure and going for a 4-gate. But Thanatos also going for a 4-gate, so neither of these players going for a 3-gate robo, as we have seen in the past from a few of them. Pitrof did do an early 3-gate robo last game, instead both of them going for 4-gate. Although notice Pitrof's 4-gate got down a little bit quicker than Thanatos' 4-gate, and it looks like Pitrof is going to apply some early pressure here, building a proxy pylon outside of Thanatos' base. And with that 4-gate, I think Pitrof is going to be able to do a lot of damage. Look here, he's getting out 4 zealots. He's ordering them into the enemy base, and he is moving out at this point. So careful force field placement is going to be key from Thanatos at this point. I really think he needs to cut off Pitrof's army in half and do some damage with that. You can use force fields defensively, and then you can kind of use them as a trap by cutting off armies in the middle. Thanatos at this point is just trying to keep Pitrof from getting into his base, doing as much damage as he can, preventing Pitrof from getting on the pylon, which would grant him access to warp units into the base, which would give him vision. Thanatos throwing down a cautionary force field at that point, and Pitrof, actually, smart player that he is getting down a proxy pylon that would just barely let him warp in units into Thanatos' base, but Thanatos not letting him do that. And wow, Pitrof actually warping in units past the force field. This could be really bad for Thanatos if he doesn't work this properly. And those units are granting vision of the high ground, and Pitrof Stalkers did pick off all the sentries, so Thanatos doesn't have any more sentries. Thanatos building some more Stalkers to try to deal with this, but I think Pitrof is probably going to take this game with that early pressure. Pitrof throwing a lot of units off the line, and he is getting an Immortal out though, and the combination of the probes and this Immortal could do a lot of damage to Pitrof and keep Thanatos in the game at this point, but I don't know. I think this is probably going to go for Pitrof. Pitrof did take out Thanatos' Immortal with the Zealots. Thanatos' army getting cut to pieces, and really that proxy pylon with the fort gate from Pitrof is doing a lot of damage at this point. Oh wow, Thanatos pulling all of his probes back off the line, but I don't think he's going to be able to salvage the game at this point. I think the loss of that Immortal probably decided it pretty decisively in Pitrof's favor. And Thanatos GG's out of the game. Thanatos lost this game. This was the match point of the best of 3 semifinal series. So Thanatos actually lost the semifinals of the 3rd week of the Gold Tournament. Pitrof won and will go on to the finals of this tournament series. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is Beatles signing out. Good luck and have fun.